Hello, it's me again, and what do I have here? Oh, it's old, so it's messed up a little bit. This is a 70s, indeterminate age, probably as near as I can tell, about 1975 Les Paul Custom, and it has been refinished. And the reason why I can't tell how old it is because these had serial number decals back in the day, and that serial number decal is gone because it's been refinished, like you have already heard. So what makes this one distinctive is it has a volute, but it has a very small volute. So the ones from this period had a three-piece maple neck and a maple cap, unlike the 50s Les Paul Customs, which were all mahogany, and a very weighty mahogany body. It's, if you look really carefully, you can see a seam. This one's called pancake body, where they laminated wood, and I assume they did that to save money. This was the Norlin era, and this is where they were taking Gibson guitars and making them look about the same, but they cut some corners. And there's some people that think these guitars are really awful, and there's some people that say, no, they're great. Well, you know, they are what they are. There's good ones, there's bad ones. Just because a guitar is old does not mean it's good. It just means that it's old. I found this many times. I've owned lots of old guitars. This one, fortunately, happens to be pretty darn good. It has a lot to do with the guy who set it up, which was not me. But that guy's name is Mark Brown. He's the one who winds pickups in Utah, but he also does guitar setups, probably the best in the business. But people talk about Gibson having 50s necks and 60s necks, but nobody says anything about the 70s necks. And I guess it's because, like the 70s, there was a lot of different necks in the 70s. There's this fairly wide, chunky necks, or like this, it's a very shallow neck. It's almost shallower than a 60s style neck. It's really different, which is why I got this guitar, because I used to really like the old dot necks and SG Les Pauls that had a really shallow from the front to the back style of neck, you know, wide at the nut but really shallow, and it's just, you know, very playable, very fast. The disadvantage of these 70s guitars is they're frequently well over 10 pounds. This one is about 10 and a half, and this is not the heaviest one I've picked up by a long shot. I picked up some that are pushing close to 12. So if you have back trouble, this ain't the guitar for you. But if you like a feel of a guitar where you strum it and you don't feel hardly any vibration from the strings, it's just this solid rock of a guitar. So it has incredible sustain as a result. Then yeah, you might like it. I like it because it's, well, I got it for a good deal, number one. Number two, it sounds really great. This one, when I got it, had none of the original stuff on it. What I put in was these Seymour Duncan antiquity pickups, which I've had these for a really long time, practically since they came out. And they're great. The only thing is I'm playing through a old, about 1957 Fender Tweed Champ right now, so it really breaks up, it really distorts. So this is the rhythm pickup. Out of an 8-inch speaker. Okay, both pickups. I guess with this little amp distorting so much, it's almost pointless to do a sound check, but I'm doing it anyway here. Bridge pickup. At least you can kind of hear the difference between pickups. This is way different. Sustain for days. So, if you don't have a weak back, these things are, you find them for about $3,500, which is not, not cheap, but, well, it's an old Les Paul for $3,500. Maybe a little cheaper if you find one like I did with no finish on it, and then have it all fixed up. Mark Brown actually did put this finish on it back when he was doing finishes. I'm not sure that he is doing that anymore. But yeah, he tinted the lacquer. This is not yellowed from age, although I've had it, probably had it like 15 years, but so why am I talking about this? Why am I even bothering? I guess the reason why is because these guitars have a really bad rap among certain people, and some of it's deserved, but I think some of it is not. There's some good ones out there, but you have to be really careful. A friend of mine picked one up that was only a couple years newer than this. It was like a 77, and it looked the same. It felt the same. It had about the same neck, but the neck just would not stay straight on it. These really shallow necks are prone to warping and doing all sorts of crazy things. So you got to be real careful about buying one of these things and just check it out really good. Sight down the neck, maybe have a real good tech or luthier look at it before you get it, because yeah, you could wind up with something that would wind up being really difficult to play and difficult to keep in tune and sink a lot of money into something that you can't use. So that's my word of caution. An old guitar is like an old car. If it wasn't well maintained and it was abused, then it's going to be a money pit, and it's going to be something that doesn't work very well much of the time. So, okay, that's it. 70s Les Paul, according to me.